Man, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale, props, effects, and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you pose the figures fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it in the detour. Replicate epic scenes from the Creed War. Compose pieces with artists that span the globe. Fearsome foes, Spidey in the picture perfect pose. Insert the comic book cutout to shoot a show. Oh, you ain't know? Yo, everybody know me. I made nerds cool, cool nerd like my man Zobi. Took the everyday display, gave it a spark. Welcome to articulated comic book art.
That's crispy.
Alright, so we back to the basics, man. I've been kind of neglecting my SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figures, but as you can see, I just got the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and I've had the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku for some time. These are their looks as they appeared in Resurrection of F movie, if I'm not mistaken. I guess, yeah, I think. But I swapped out the heads here. I have the Son Goku head on Goku, and I have the I guess the Scouter Vegeta head on Vegeta here. Each with their kind of like screaming faces and kind of arguing here, I guess. And I got B-Rolls back there, which I haven't shown at all yet, which I think came out really, really good. I like the Vegeta too, but it looks like they're now about to release another Vegeta on the updated body, or the updated articulation system that they are releasing on this Trunks that just dropped as well. Trunks I don't have yet. I didn't order Trunks from Japan, so I'll be getting him a little late. But that's one thing that I love about DBZ figures is if you've been keeping up with the line, it's a lot of swapping heads and faces and different things you can do. But they definitely need to start releasing some of the older original. There's so many possibilities with the facial expressions. Like I said, these have so much character. They just announced that Broly with green hair, same exact figure, just green hair, is going to be the SDCC exclusive. And traditionally that has been the case. It's just been some sort of repaint, usually like a full repaint though. This is the first time that they did some different color hair. That's just nuts. Got the SH Figuarts Civil War Captain America here. You know what, I'm not really like super impressed with this figure. I love the first version that they came out with from Avengers 2. It's a really, really good figure, and this is essentially the same figure with a couple of updates to the costume, a little more detail, and you get the unmasked head that you see here. Pretty much the same amount of interchangeable hands. I think they might have added one extra thing, because you could actually put the when you put the shield on them, I guess you can have the straps on the shoulder to make it look more official. I don't know what this is. I see. I'm literally just opening this, but I think no, the straps is already on them, so I'm not 100% sure what this is. I didn't even really look at the. Oh, those are the straps for the handle. They're a little different for when you actually have them holding the shield. I see what that is. Okay, but yeah, essentially the same figure. Maybe it's because a lot of people been using this figure so much over the past couple weeks in the group. But I mean, it is a nice figure. You know, but again, you pretty much paying for the same figure. It's just the interchangeable, the unmasked head. And you know what, Figuarts is getting on my nerve with this gold highlights that they putting in the character's hair. It's just really stupid. I don't understand why they're doing it, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look accurate to the character. Other thing that I don't really particularly like about this figure is, you know, they're doing this new thing with the face scans, and some of them are coming out really good, but for whatever reason, this figure, you can't really see it here because I have his head down a little bit. Maybe I'll show it later in the episode, but this figure, it just doesn't look that good to me. I don't know, something looks off with the eyes and the way the face looks. The unmasked head looks better than the mask head. With the head with the mask on, it looks very odd. It looks off for whatever reason. But quick little scene here. I broke out my my like locker room diorama that Oga and Ryu made, and I haven't broken this out in a long time. I think the last time that I broke it out, it was for Captain America Scene 2. But yeah. So yeah, those was just quick picks from the each review for each one of the figures from the Abomination Builder figure wave. That the wave has not officially dropped yet. I had gotten that set a little early from my Connect that gets me things early sometimes. So those reviews are still up on my channel, and since then it's been announced that or we've seen that Abomination is going to show up in the SDCC 2016 exclusive Marvel Legends pack. It'll just be a repaint of this figure, I guess a more classic version, all darker green. It won't have the sort of lime green on the face and chest area or the upper torso. But you know, I'm interested in both versions. No doubt about it. I was pretty happy with the way this Builder figure came out. But like I mentioned in the review, I just think he was a little on the short side. Classic team up. Beast and Wonder Man. Wasn't able to really do this properly for some time with that small Wonder Man that we had originally from Toy Biz. Quick little build up. Alright, I was just snapping some pictures. Moving right along. Setting up a shot here for the intro of this video. My man Pancho had semi-updated it in the last main course. I wanted to change it up a bit, but it wasn't like complete. But I still just needed to get that video out, so now I'm just snapping some shots here of the Fearsome Foes Spider-Man. This is a Toy Biz figure. Was one of my top 3 Spider-Man figures of all time before Hasbro went on that run. He's not even in focus right now. Actually, the pile of goons is in focus, but yeah, I'm just snapping some shots. I'll get him in focus. I pretty much think I'm over this this line. I think I'm about to sell pretty much all of the DC collectibles, Batman the animated series figures, except this Batman and Robin and my Batmobile, and I'll actually end up getting the updated version of this Batmobile. Then I guess I'll box this one up and sell it. I am going to get the updated version of this, just because it is a 1/12 scale vehicle, and that's just something that, you know, I just never really envisioned us getting a lot of 1/12 scale vehicles. So anything within that scale, I'll try to get it. But I'll get the new Batmobile, and I'll get the Batwing when that comes out. I'll keep a classic Batman and Robin. Maybe I'll keep the other updated Adventures, Batman Adventures, or whatever it is, Batman. But yeah, I think I'm gonna sell all the other figures. You know, it's just these things just can't pose for shit. It's nothing you can really do with these things dynamically. Like, everything has to be vanilla, or it looks like shit pretty much. So I'm gonna keep this Catwoman too, only because when I opened it, one of the hands had broken straight off the pack, and I don't feel like going through the whole motion of, you know, one of the hands is broken on Catwoman, and I don't know. I just want to keep it though because it's from the original series too. And yeah, I'll just sell everything I have as a lot, probably put it up on a daily plan or something like that. But again, you know, they look great, and vanilla stuff like this, like, I think this looks really clean, really cool. But other than that, you're not gonna get much use out of them, in my opinion. Yeah, there he is. So still a good figure. Still definitely a really good Spider-Man figure, especially as far as articulation goes. I've never removed the web backpack, or whatever you want to call this thing, from this figure. A lot of people like to display them without it, but I've always kept it in its original form. And you saw this figure in my detolf, in my living room detolf, in the last episode, with the Toy Biz Spider-Man villains surrounding them. So yeah, I just snatched them out for a second to get this shot. I will say though that Brandon is probably one of the people that use these things the most, that has done some really unique things with them, and and made them look better than they are. He's probably sold some people on these figures just by some of the shots that he takes, and he does great cutout work with them. But I don't have the patience for these things, man. I think the speech bubbles for this series of cutouts was a little big, but I don't know. Sometimes when they're bigger, it's better, but I don't know. These are a little oversized. I think we need to bring them back down a bit on the next pack. Although something like this could definitely work for 1/10 scale or 1/6 scale, and it will look really good probably. Maybe I'll try that.
What's in the fucking box?
So that was a package from Japan. I got the Iron Man Civil War Mark 46 and this Figma. I don't know what this is. What you even call this thing? David D. Michelangelo. This is like a little sculpture thingy. That's a figure that can actually move. Don't judge me. You can see his penis. Pause. But I got this because I'm gonna actually end up getting all of these like little statue figures from this series, I guess, and I'm gonna do like a museum diorama. So I won't be opening this right now because I don't really have anything specific that I want to do with this thing alone. And yeah, that's that. Got the Iron Man, which is probably the best figure from the new Civil War figures so far. We still waiting for Ant-Man and Black Panther to drop. Like I said in this episode, I wasn't too pleased with Cap. Messing around here, Kitbash me a Red Skull with the new Red Skull head from that crappy Iron Skull figure. I bought this guy, whatever the hell his name is, I forget, from the Star Wars Force Awakens movie, and took his jacket and put it on the old Samuel Jackson body, and got me a all black Red Skull, just like that. Arms still don't really go down as far as they can, but then again, I still have this stupid strap on here, so maybe if I take that off, the arms will go down a little bit more. I think I did try it like that, and then I put this on for whatever reason. I mean, that sits a little better. The arms is actually almost completely at the side. This one is still a little stupid. I think I seen somewhere somebody shaved this portion down just a little bit more so to go down, or maybe shave it right at the ball joint. But what I did here was I actually took the the collar off of one of the Samuel Jackson figures, one of the other ones, and doubled up on the collar to make it look like a turtleneck here, so you could cover up the black neck, because you could clearly see that the neck is still that of a African American fellow. So I did that, and now he's got the turtleneck popping with the all black, the black boots, the belt. He's looking slick. Boom. Look at this shit. Right after I talk about it, the arm on the Catwoman breaks. So she's got one hand that's interchangeable that's broken. Now the arm is broken, pretty much. Figure's not worth anything. I'm not even trying to repair this. I totally forgot that I had this blade head. Shout out to my man Nick. I've had this for quite some time. He actually sent it to me so I could get it over to Dave Castle so he could cast it and get it to some people in the community. But turns out Dave already had the head, and then I just had it wrapped up in a little compartment where I keep a bunch of random heads, and I haven't gotten around to using it. But I popped it on this little Kitbash body here, and that looks pretty damn good, I think. So I got him hemming up Morbius here. About to put some lead in him and put together a little alleyway or a rooftop. I don't know what it's supposed to be, honestly. But I think this looks pretty good. Nice contained scene. Show you.
What's in the box?
That was obviously a package from Big Bad Toy Store. Got 3 of the cartons of eggs here just for my alien display that I set up recently. And the Tech Noir Schwarzenegger Punisher. Punisher Terminator. So yeah, that's looking real cool. The future trunks opened up here, the armored trunks. I like this figure, man. I like it a lot. I'm happy with the pretty happy with the new mold that they're using here. Seems like they're gonna be moving forward and using this mold on other characters. They just recently announced or recently showed, I guess, prototypes for Tien and Yamcha, I guess it was, at San Diego Comic-Con. So that's going on right now while I'm shooting this. You know, I've had this figure for a little while before I'm shooting this, though. So I'm just now getting around to shooting them, opening them, and shooting them. But I do like this mold, and I think Vegeta is going to be the next character that they update on this mold. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I think this guy looks good. In the power down version, when they first showed this figure, showed pictures of this figure, I already said that he looked like Grumpy Cat. That's kind of how the face looks to me. But I got him powered down here and got Vegeta powered down back to back. I took last weekend and cleaned up my details. You know, took out each shelf. I slimmed down the collection as far as stuff that's on display in here, and packaged up a bunch of stuff and put it to the side. You know, if I needed to do displays, then I could definitely just get to them easy. But pretty much I set up my like 90% of my details based around just all of the Build-A-Figures that we received from Marvel Legends, basically, and just scattered in a few little regular releases here and there. But you know, I really trimmed it down. Still not done putting everything back, but the most recent MCU Giant Man, the Toy Biz Giant Man, which I think is probably one of the best Build-A-Figures ever produced. I got Dragon Man here, not really a Build-A-Figure, but something that I have that I've always just kept out on display. I guess a grill. All the Masters of Evil with the Absorber Man Build-A-Figure stuck in there. So that's 3 Build-A-Figures so far. And then we got the recent Red Skull Onslaught or Red Onslaught. And I'll be building another one of these just to have a actual Onslaught and not have to keep swapping the heads. Probably do that in the next week or so. And I just love this Nuke figure. That's the only reason I got him sitting here. Not really a Build-A-Figure, but I do love the way the Masters of Evil look together. And building up figure number 4, the Blob, which I think is a great Build-A-Figure. Not a lot of people display him, or I don't even know if a lot of people really even have this bath, but I think it came out pretty damn good. A little more articulation would have been cool. And Nemesis back there, which I don't think a lot of people have either. It was a shitty Build-A-Figure, but I'll keep it around. And then the old Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister, not Build-A-Figures, but I got a spot right here for Juggernaut from the X-Men wave. All the Sentinel Build-A-Figures. And the Marvel Universe Cable, which I think is one of the best figures ever produced from that line. The line is straight shit right now. They've run that into the ground, rebranded it as Marvel Legends. For what reason, I don't know. It's not like they gave more articulation. They took articulation away from the figures, which is just really stupid. But yeah, I got a Cable and Baby Hope down there looking hopeless. And that'll be number 7, Build-A-Figure number 7. We got Sentinel, Blob, Nemesis, Absorber Man, Red Onslaught, Giant Man, 616, and Giant Man MCU. This is not supposed to be here. I'm actually get one of the little stands, I don't even know what you would call it, the little mat that he's on that my man JD is building. I'm gonna get one of those and probably display this in one of my cases in the living room. And some Spider-Man villains here that we received in bad form. The Ultimate Green Goblin, which a lot of people are going to be trying to backtrack to get right now. Being that the Ultimate Peter Parker Spider-Man just came out. The Hobgoblin from the most recent iteration of Hobgoblin. I forget the dude name that's underneath the mask, but not a lot of people really like this bath. It looks cool though. It just looks cool. Just wasn't really the best for posability. Rhino, which I love. This Sandman was part of like a rogue, terrible Spider-Man line. It was difficult to build the Sandman, but I've held on to him because I've always wanted to get him repainted and just add like a wash on him and make him look better. The head on this pops off pretty easily, and I'm thinking that the new Sandman that we're about to get in this SDCC box set, maybe I could pop the head on there and have some alternate displaying possibilities. Give that body a little wash. It doesn't move that much, but in the display you could definitely make it work. And I still got another spot here for something else. The Abomination Build-A-Figure that we just got, that's 12. MODOK, which I think came out really good, Toy Biz. The Gremlin figure with the Mecha Hulk back there, not a lot of people have that. And I got both versions of the Arnim Zola, the Red Skull version, and the Arnim Zola version. And that little Kitbash Red Skull that I showed a little while ago. That's 12, 13, 14. I guess if you want to count Arnim Zola Skull and Arnim Zola as two. I don't know. I guess that's only one build. So we'll say that's 13. It's got a little silliness going on here. Rest of the Thunderbolts looking at Deadpool and I guess Bob. I'd like to get a replacement official Bob head. Bob head from my man Michael Westman. I see he was making a couple different versions. But the Red Hulk Build-A-Figure, Ghost Rider on the Series 7 bike, I guess that is. And Ironmonger. Ares Build-A-Figure, which is still going for a lot of money online. Nick Fury, I was thinking about that issue of, I guess it was Dark Avengers, when Ares confronted Fury over trying to recruit his son to the Secret Avengers. I'm not sure if that was Secret Avengers or Dark Avengers. I think it was Dark Avengers. But that's 14, 15, 16. Thanos and Black Bolt. Not a lot of people were able to get Black Bolt. Unfortunately, they didn't step up their game with the wings until they did Spider-Woman, so these wings are just stupid, and it really makes the figure impossible to try to really look nice in a vanilla pose. But Thanos, Odin, and Thor back there, Ronin, which definitely needs to be done over, but not a lot of people were able to grab that either, and Groot and Rocket. I don't know why I threw that in there, but I did. I guess in this case we'll count Odin and Thor as two different ones, so that's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I'm actually up to 23. 24 if you want to count the Zolas as two separate BAFs, but got the Annihilus Build-A-Figure back there, which I wish they would have done better. That was when Hasbro was trying to find their way, I guess. Galactus, which I think is a great Build-A-Figure, just not really, you know, in scale necessarily with 6-inch, but if you do some MSD stuff, it works. And the Brood, I got quite a few of these, but you know, I just got one on display here on Miss Marvel. And yeah, T-Rex. And Jubilee Build-A-Figure, the first Onslaught BAF, Mojo, which I think is a sort of underrated BAF, and Pup. So that'd be 32 in these next two cubes. And the Hulkbuster is 33, Ultron 34, and the Mandroid is 35. And I'm actually only missing one Build-A-Figure on display, and that is Apocalypse, which I have around here somewhere that I'm gonna have to add into that cube where this guy is. So 36 in total. And I just got some Figma stuff. In this case, Leonidas, Iron Man, Solid Snake, Samus, or Metroid, Link, and a Chestnut Figma Horse. Revoltech, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'll add some more Revoltech stuff in here. Probably don't try maybe one other thing. And These Leonardo and Donatello just went back up for a re-release recently, so if you missed out, you should hop on that. And some G1 Transformers. Yeah, I definitely have every Marvel Legend ever released, except I think I'm missing the Jean Grey that came with that Cable 2-pack. I don't know how I have Cable and not Jean Grey. I don't know how that worked out, but I think that's the only Marvel Legend that I'm missing, from Toy Biz all the way through Hasbro, through everything. So, you know, I got just a few things on display here, but in terms of trying to do A.C.B.A. and set things up, you know, I got a pretty extensive pool of figures to pull from. You know, I've kept everything, even the shitty figures. A lot of people start trading off their Toy Biz stuff as newer Hasbro versions come out. I don't really do that. I pretty much just held on to everything. I mean, it's good for comparisons when you're doing reviews and other things, and when you know, when you're talking about how something is better, it's good to show how it's better. So I hold on to that stuff. Other things I've obviously traded, but my collection is like massive right now. Obviously, I'm just not showing everything, but just a few different import things that I keep at the ready. These are things mostly that I'll do, take pictures and stuff with, do setups with, so I keep it close. This thing is packed to the brim though. I mean, there's stuff all the way to the back that you can't really see, but a little bit of everything. A lot of stuff still in package, different things, a lot of Legends I haven't even opened yet, stuff that I have doubles and triples of, a bunch of Transformers behind there too. That's just some of the newest additions. We got extra shelving units just to house some product with this expansion with the web shop. You know, these go all the way down, so we be putting a lot of like single carded stuff here. Obviously, like cases and stuff like that will go out immediately, but we got some other space, you know, outside of here, outside of the apartment for storage if need be. But yeah, I've been setting this up slowly but surely. Some of this stuff is my own stuff that I just keep carded, but this will be filled to the brim by next week. My Batmobile and Batman, two of my Seekers, still waiting for Skywalker to add there. That's just pretty random, the A.P.A. dudes. But I think I want to do something Star Wars related up there. Oh shit, 37. I forgot about, yeah, this will be 37. I forgot about Fang Foom. And that's the 12-inch Spider-Man right there. I updated that. Got some NECA horror people. Had a Greedo there with that guy, Joppa. Just got, well, I didn't just get, I had this for a minute, but I'm starting to set up a little alien cube in my DTOF. I never really went too nuts with these NECA stuff, but I definitely wanted the Queen, and I got the Queen set up in here, and the Power Loader, which I think is a really, really nice piece, both of them. Just got some of those eggs. I got like 3 cartons of those recently. I had this Ripley for a long time, never opened her. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get Newt from SDCC, and maybe I'll grab that Bishop at my man GB's like local comic shop. GB, let me know if it's still there. And this is just Figuarts stuff here. I never really changed the pose or anything for Hulkbuster and Hulk. I just left that there, but just a couple of things represented by Figuarts there. I don't think I ever showed Bruce Lee on camera. I forgot to put him in the last episode. I showed him on my Instagram and whatever, but I didn't really talk about it. Obviously, much better than the Figma version. I mean, totally crushing the Figma version. It's such a great figure. If you don't have this figure, you definitely should try to get it. We actually have this figure on sale on the A.C.B.A. web shop right now, so it's a few of them left. If you don't have this figure, you should definitely get it. Interchangeable hands, heads, weapons, and excellent posability. So really, really nice. Medusa figure was such a fail. I actually got to look decent right here, I guess, but I know a lot of people missed out on this because it was part of the SDCC exclusive, but you didn't really miss out on much. You can't get her to stand without using a stand of some sort or leaning her up against something, and she's really tall. I have Black Bolt propped up a little bit here, and I have the tail end of her hair propped up on a small little A.C.B.A stand just to get her to stand up. It looks like they used the same body for Jean Grey or Phoenix in the new X-Men wave. Obviously, she won't have the same issue with hair, but it looks like that same body is kind of thick and on the lower extremities and petite up top. It's a good body mold for I guess a medium-sized woman, but yeah, Medusa and Black Bolt has some real issues, man. I wish we could get a do-over. Seems like they'll probably move in that direction at some point, being that the Inhumans have been pretty prevalent in the books as of late. I would assume that they'll probably get around to doing Beast at some point too, now that he's running around with them. Doing my rearranging and putting some NECA stuff back in the cases. I figured I'd take some photographs of these two. I only took pictures of them one time when I first got Sarah Connor. I took pictures of the two of them. Still love both of these figures. Really good figures. I just ordered the Noir Terminator, Tech Noir Terminator. So pretty much, I guess it'll be the same. Pretty much the same body mold, same articulation, just in that different outfit. So that's one thing that NECA has done really well, is all of the Ultimate figures. I mean, you could see the detail and everything. You could see how different they look on camera than some of the Legends, and how they photograph. They just look very, very good. It's just that sometimes NECA has issues with quality control and things break, but you know, I never really plan on doing anything too dynamic with these. It's really just about getting some nice clean shots, similar to one of the shots from the newer portion of my intro. Just switched out the Bruce Lee, I guess. Trying to get some more people in the back. My camera's down. Broke out the SH Figuarts Mark 46 Iron Man, and you know, always pleased with the Iron Man figures from SH Figuarts. They pretty much outdo themselves every single time. I noticed that they put a little warning inside the package this time about scraping up the parts, and as you can see, the finish on this armor is just phenomenal, but it will get scratched up. My Mark 45 got a little tiny scratch on the hand, on one of the on the closed fists. So you definitely got to be careful with these armors, and you know, unless you have like multiples, doubles, or triples or something, you probably don't want to go too crazy posing and messing up the figure. It is a very, very nice figure, as you can see here. Got him posed up with Captain America, which I told you in early in the episode, just not really fond of this Captain America figure. You know, it's just something about the face just annoys me. But I am looking forward to the other characters that Figuarts is slated to do. Well, we definitely know that Ant-Man and Black Panther are coming out. I have both of those already pre-ordered. As a matter of fact, I think one or both of them might be coming out next month, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what else they do. Somebody had asked me about Scarlet Witch and pairing her up with the Legend Scarlet Witch to see how the size looks. Somebody asked me about that, I think, in a review I did of Scarlet Witch. So I guess I'll find her in a second and break that out. But yeah, you know, they do look clean together. There you go. Everybody's standing, planted, got their feet planted and standing upright. So I guess it works pretty well. You know, the scale of Figuarts is a little smaller than Legends, so in actuality, if they were to do a Scarlet Witch, it'd probably be even shorter than this, but it still works out pretty well here, especially for a little perspective shot. Closer. Just taking some more shots. A little something dynamic. I could probably layer that cutout. I did that in the review of the Captain America figure from the Abomination wave. I layered the impact with an actual sound effect too. I could do that. It actually looks okay without the cutout even on there too. But yeah, just a little something dynamic here. Like I said, you can pretty much get this guy into any pose you want. It's just a matter of trying to match him up with other figures. You know, there's really no other goon figures within SH Figuarts style. So a lot of people just use suited bodies. But anyway, you can see it without the cutout. Still works pretty well. And you know, you could always switch it up once you got good framework. Switch out the characters. I do that a lot. Just shot a little review for this figure. Been trying to do more reviews for my channel. Been getting a pretty good response. You know, I just do it for fun and for when I get something early, I'll put out a review. You know, but you know, my core audience enjoys it, but it's sometimes I feel like it's kind of pointless. Like, you know, one of my reviews will probably top out at about 12,000, 13,000, you know, maybe 15,000 views if it's a really popular character or figure. And some of the guys who pretty much strictly do reviews, they'll have that amount of views in a couple of hours off of the same figure. It's, you know, it's pretty funny, but it's all good. You know, my audience pretty much loves main course more than anything. So, you know, for the most part, I stay in my lane. But yeah, I think this figure came out really nice. I like this figure a lot, and I'm hoping that they do more figures from the first Terminator movie. And yeah, I've heard some rumors that we're gonna get a John Connor from T2 and an Ultimate line, and possibly a motorcycle for him and for the T1000. Now that would be crazy. I just spent money recently on a 1/10 scale bike that I thought was going to go well with the T1000 I already had, but it was still a little too big and it just wasn't right. Actually, I guess I'll show that in a minute because I ended up setting it up in my detail. I mean, it looks nice, like, you know, behind him, or it's like an accent piece. But so yeah, I'm hoping that rumor is true. Here's that chopper I was talking about.
What's in the fucking box?
So this was a package from my man Dave Castle, who has been a casting freaking maniac over the past couple years, really, but even more so recently. He sent a couple of the Purple Man casts, which is funny because we did this for lupus awareness before Hasbro announced their Purple Man and the SDCC box set, which I actually just secured yesterday. Even though I'm still here in New York, I did not go to San Diego Comic-Con, but as always, there's some people on the ground that hold me down. So yeah, he sent me a couple of these. I'm not gonna go too crazy and keep everything. I'm probably gonna give away a few of these. We actually have like 4 cutout packs in the works right this moment. 2 of them are about to drop within the next 2 weeks, and we're gonna be doing a special Deadpool cutout pack specifically for Deadpool, and we'll be giving away a Deadpool figure as well as part of the launch of that pack. And then I guess I'll give away one of these sets of tacos that Dave made too. So he's also casting the Juggernaut, the Toy Biz Juggernaut head, which works perfectly on the new Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure, which I guess I'll get around to showing in this episode. And casting quite a few things, man. I gotta put my man Dave Castle's information in the underbar. If you're not MP and Plastic and Paint or in the A.C.B.A group and you're not really up on Dave, then you should definitely get on that train. I swear those ain't my slippers. Alright, don't play with me. So yeah, we got in a bunch of cases. Those is all Space Venom waves. Like I always say, you know, I be patient. I didn't try to pick these up early or anything like that. Truthfully, they just really starting. They still haven't even really hit retail here in New York like that anyway. So this is still kind of early for some people in the States. I know people in the Philippines had them first, and then I guess some people got them from China or something like that. But this is my first venture into this wave, so I'll crack these open, build the Space Venom, and see what's what. I obviously at this point already been seeing a whole bunch of pictures and different things here and there, and I've been dealing with these for the past couple days, breaking down cases and packing up cases and getting them ready for shipment anyway too. So you know, I've seen all the figures out of the package. Some people wanted loose stuff and what have you, but yeah, I've seen all the figures out of the package. And I like this wave, man. Anything Spider-Man, you know, I'm all for that. But yeah, let's crack these open and see. Finally got a proper Miles Morales Spider-Man. Really like this new buck that they use in here. Only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't have toe joints, and that the foot doesn't hinge up enough. So trying to get him into that classic sort of crouching Spidey pose that you saw in my 12-inch Spider-Man, and is pretty much impossible. You're not going to really get that really tight, low crouching pose, unfortunately. But I do like this figure a lot. Obviously, a great improvement on the original figure that I've shown on my channel some months back when I reviewed the Avengers 3-pack with Kate Bishop and Vision and Sam Wilson Cap. I had broke out the old Miles Morales then and threw him in a shot with them, and this figure obviously shits on that one. And also recently, San Diego Comic-Con just finished up. I think I mentioned that already in this video, but they finally showed Kid Nova on this buck, and I predicted that some time ago that they would use the same buck for Kid Nova. So it is a nice buck. It's you know, it's cool, but I just really wish that the foot hinged up a little bit.
Packages.
So that top small package was a couple figures from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave. I mean, obviously we're going to be getting in a ton of those cases. We sold a bunch of those pre-orders, so thanks to anybody who purchased any pre-orders from us for the X-Men wave. But I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get my hands on this Wolverine, and Deadpool was also in the pack, which I'll show in a moment. And yo, this figure it's amazing, man. I mean, I feel like pictures don't really do it any justice. It's just an amazing figure in terms of the mechanics of the figure, the way that it moves, the way it looks. It's such a sleek looking figure. It's such a great representation of Wolverine. You know, that short, stocky sort of build, and the articulation is just amazing, man. I really like this figure. This is you know, imports and things like that, they come with a ton of articulation and stuff like that, but in my eyes, in my mind, nothing beats a very well made Marvel Legend figure. I mean, the way that you can really pose them and move them, and not really be too concerned with anything chipping or breaking or anything like that, it's unmatched. As far as I'm concerned, it's just really unmatched. And those other two packages was something from SDCC, a couple of newts. One here is for me, one's for my man Dave BX. Got the Broly, and got the SHF Luke Skywalker. That was from Japan. The SDCC stuff came in one pack, and then that other small pack, the other small pack was the Luke Skywalker. There you go. Oh yeah, coming along. So obviously, including all of the extra hands and stuff with this figure gives him a little more life, a little more personality. If they would have left out the hands on this, that would have been a huge fail. They did give us the interchangeable head, which I'm not even going to show because I don't even like it. It's not even like it's a bad face or anything like that. It just doesn't look like Miles Morales at all. It just looks like some random black kid. But hey, we got another figure of color, and that's always great. Another character of color, so that's always a great thing. I really wish they would have given us an alternate head with this Spider-Woman here too. The windswept, having a windswept hair all the time is a pain in the ass. I'm sure I said that one that when the wave she was a part of first dropped. What was that? The Hobgoblin wave, pretty sure. But yeah, I do like Miles. Really nice figure. Obviously, the interchangeable hands was a really nice touch, and I find that on the hands that have the claws on them, the claws are actually easier to remove than the past couple of versions that we had. The X-Force version, which was originally the X-Force version, but it was pretty hard to remove those claws. These come out very easily. Only thing I don't like is that the claws were not that sort of metallic. They didn't have that sort of metallic finish that they had originally on the X-Force version, or even the shinier look that they had on the version after that. I think on the third version they got real lazy. I think it was the third one, and then they gave us this sort of plasticky looking paint, which is what we have on this version here. So I see a lot of people replacing the claws or painting them, and that's probably my only gripe about the figure, honestly. Everything else I think is pretty spot on. A lot of people swapping out heads of some of the older Toy Biz versions and using that for an unmasked head. That's probably one of the other things that they could have included was an unmasked head. People using the Dakin mask and just kind of painting that the same color and using that and doing a lot of different things. There's a lot of kit bashing going on right now with this figure. That's a lot of people that don't even know how to how to place this figure with the right teams and stuff. You got the old school brown suit Wolverine hanging out with a lot of modern characters and modern costumes and stuff, and I mean, I guess not a big deal. People could do what they want, but that shit kind of annoys me sometimes. But anyway, this is got Wolverine kind of saying fuck you to the rest of these guys, and it's funny because these are all Toy Biz figures in the back, and this is one of Hasbro's best offerings right here. And this, if the X-Men wave hasn't set Hasbro way above Toy Biz, then I don't know what has. I mean, you still got a lot of Toy Biz loyalists saying that Toy Biz is still better. They're out of their mind. This X-Men wave definitely takes Hasbro up over the top, no question about it. I think they teased a little at the Comic-Con Hasbro panel. It looks like they teased a female Thor. They was fucking up on the panel and showing stuff for 3 3/4 inch and then showing stuff for 6 inch and kind of alternating between the two, but not saying which image was a 3/4 inch figure and which was a 6 inch, and had people guessing. It was just real stupid. But I'm hoping that the little teaser image of the female Thor that they showed was the one that's supposed to be part of the team and a 6 inch figure. So we're getting closer and closer to completing this all new, all different Avengers. We're going to get the Kid Nova, which I already mentioned. They showed Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, and we need an updated Iron Man. But like I said in the review of that 3-pack, this Iron Man looks very similar to the armor that he's been rocking most recently or in this comic book. And then we're gonna need who's the last person? Kamala Khan, Kid Nova, and these 4. I think that's it. Deadpool is another hit from the X-Men wave. I got a Deadpool updated here for a little Thunderbolts team up, I guess. My only gripes with the Deadpool figure is the lack of detail on the harness and the straps and the holsters for the guns and stuff like that. But Hasbro's always looking at customizers and what they're doing, and they always lurking on different boards and stuff like that. As soon as the Bucky Cap mold came out, millions of customizers were doing Deadpools on that mold. So Hasbro followed suit, and they gave us what they thought we wanted. And for the most part, I think this is what people wanted. I think this is a very solid Deadpool figure, obviously the best that we've had. I think we've settled in the past with what they have given us, and now looking at this figure in comparison to what we've gotten in the past is this is light years ahead. So this is definitely one of the most sought after figures in this wave, no question. Just getting it without the cutout on it. I don't really like how it wasn't totally visible. I need to tweak this a bit more. My camera's dying. So this took a little minute. Got a little still motion action here with the Ultimate Spider-Man. Like I said, I really like this buck. You know, anytime any Spider-Man figure comes out, I always get at minimum 3 if it's a good figure, you know, just for stuff like this. 2 of these is mine. 1 of these is actually gonna probably ship to somebody else who wants this stuff loose. So your figure made it a main course, whoever this is going to. But yeah, just some nice layers here, Tamashi explosion effects, and some good cutouts. It's gonna be difficult to probably take a good picture of this, but I'm hoping it at least is showing up good on video. Added a little something here. Been waiting to use this Ultimate Beetle for years. Got him in here. So looking pretty good. We're getting semi close to a complete Jim Lee X-Men squad, but we need some updates, no question. We need an updated Gambit with one of Hasbro's new bucks. They need to redo this Jean Grey as well. This was right before they started updating the female bucks, so it'd be nice to get that done over. I thought that the new Colossus that we were going to get in the second wave of X-Men figures was going to be just an updated sort of Jim Lee style version, but they're going with a more modern look for Colossus, so I don't know if we'll ever see an updated Colossus from Hasbro in the 90s style. It's going to be pretty hard for them to top this Beast figure, and I'm pretty sure that if they do a Beast figure, it's not going to be old school one. I'm sure they'll go with the more modern look, probably how he looks right now with Inhumans. I know somebody asked about that, asked Tony at Hasbro about that at San Diego Comic-Con, and they were discussing that the mold for Jackal, and Tony was like, you know, obviously this mold is too small. We definitely have to do a larger mold if we do Beast. So seems like it's not totally out of the question, but I don't know. It might be a long time before Hasbro really tackles the full 90s Jim Lee style team. And, you know, we got Archangel here. This is a Hasbro figure, and that still holds up pretty well. I feel like a lot of people weren't able to snag this figure for some reason though. We definitely need an updated Electra on one of Hasbro's newer female bucks. It's well overdue for that. Even the most recent version that Hasbro put out is totally obsolete now. That's what I have here. Wait, no, is this the 2-pack one? I guess this is the 2-pack one. Yeah, but I have the silk head on this body. These still look pretty decent together. Well, I mean, it's a better match than probably anything that we got in the past. Some of the other Wolverines were really small in comparison to this guy. I think this height comparison between these two is pretty good, but we do need an updated Sabertooth. Even though this Toy Biz version still holds up pretty damn well. I've seen some people match up this Wolverine with the 2-pack Sabertooth, and that size is okay as well. Another classic matchup, Hulk versus Wolverine. This scales pretty well also. So this Toy Biz Hulk has held up pretty well over the year. We all know that this is an amazing sculpt and design. It's just that the lack of an ab crunch was sorely needed on this figure. Some people say it would have broke up the sculpt. I don't think it would have mattered that much. I think it would have still been an amazing figure. This is the variant, actually, the open mouth or angry faced variant. Thought this one was appropriate for this scene. Alright, I think I'm gonna dismantle this now. I think it's pretty good. I should be able to get a couple good shots. I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. I think the motion looks really good. I'm really happy with this Spider-Man figure. I really like this buck. I'm wondering what they might be able to what else they might be able to use this buck for. Obviously, you know, I mentioned Kid Nova. I think that figure is going to be good, but not really sure what other teenagers they could use. Maybe they could revisit the Young Avengers or something like that. Not sure. I got 4 lights here, 2 lights on either side shining against the blue backdrop. I got 1 light here in front, and then I got 1 light kind of far away. That's the colored light, giving it that sort of purplish hue, and that can be pretty important when you're setting up your stuff, is adding a little colored light just to kind of accent things and give it a little more oomph and really make your photos pop and make your display pop a little bit. A lot of people crying and complaining about not finding Deadpool, or other people who cop multiple Deadpools and they're crying because they didn't find one yet. It's just a pain in the ass, man. You know, pre-order yourself a set and guarantee that you're going to get every figure that you want, including the really, really popular ones like Deadpool and Wolverine. That's what you got to do. Or get out there and get on the hunt. No sense in crying and complaining. I've seen, first of all, this wave hasn't even officially hit all the retail yet. It's not on Toys R Us store shelves just yet. And from what I understand, the official street date is August the 10th. So if it's showing up in other places before then, you're still going to see it in abundance at retail. Now, don't get me wrong, it is only 1 figure per case, so you know most people will probably be snatching them up quick at retail. But from what I've seen, as far as the pre-orders and the retailers putting up tons of pre-orders, including the A.C.B.A shop, I think this is going to be one of the most ordered and pre-ordered waves ever. So you should be good. And just so you can see real quick, a little size comparison. Not too long ago, Wolverine on the right was the best Wolverine ever, at least that mold. But you can see they shortened him, made him a little more stocky, made him a little more true to his comic book counterpart, more comic book accurate. And again, like, I can't stress enough how well this figure moves and how great the articulation is. The butterfly joints work much better. He has an actual ab crunch instead of that just upper torso or that upper diaphragm rotation. The whole pelvic area looks better. It's just a much better figure. It's just superior. And don't get me wrong, the last Wolverine that we got is still a very nice figure, still a great figure. But this guy is just really, really nice. Got Hobgoblin here, which I think came out really nice. When I first saw this figure at Toy Fair, I really didn't like the way it looked. Something looked off. I don't know if it was the paint there or what, but having this figure in hand, it's a really sleek, nice figure. Definitely an improvement over the Toy Biz version, which I still think is a great figure. But when you look at the Toy Biz version and you look at the ball joints on the legs and on the arms, it does look pretty ugly. And this one is definitely more streamlined, and it looks like aesthetically it just looks much better. A little shorter than the Toy Biz one. I think that the face on the Toy Biz version is a little more detailed, a little better, but you do get 2 interchangeable heads with this one. One of my major gripes about this figure, though, probably one of my only gripes, is that the glider is really small. I'll show that in a minute. I'll probably end up using the glider from the Toy Biz version with this new Hasbro version, but this glider is really small. The other great thing about him is that he's got the unmasked head and a little taco here, so Hasbro's been giving some pretty good props. This little bottle was actually from the Ted Figma figure. And that backpack with Spidey that I showed. And the other scene is from the Mafex Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, from the DX set. So yeah, man, Deadpool is definitely a good. There's just a little better angle, I think.
What's in the fucking
Bag
box?
Got Got the Mafex Batman here. This is from the BVS movie, Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. I like this figure. I like this figure a lot. I think they did a really good job with the sculpt. The articulation is pretty good. It's definitely an upgrade in comparison to the last Mafex Batman that we got, which I fucking hate. I couldn't even sell that figure. Nobody would even buy it. But the peg on the hand broke on the last Mafex Batman, the movie Batman. And I could see that possibly happening with this one too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the peg protrudes from the the peg for the hand protrudes from the wrist pretty far, and there's still like just a little gap in between the actual fist or the hand and where the wrist ends, I guess. I don't really like that about Mafex. I've seen some pictures. I've seen some issues with quality control. You know, I haven't really encountered anything with Batman yet, but I do have the Superman as well. As a matter of fact, that package was the Batman, Superman, Ted from the Ted 2 movie, the Figuarts Ant-Man, the Figma Ted, Figuarts Ant-Man, and the Figma Hulk. So I'll get around to all of that stuff, but Batman here is pretty nice. I do like him. I'll get some close-up better shots and talk about him a bit. Able to add in the Electro here. I like this figure, but they really half-assed on the figure. I mean, they didn't give you any regular hands to put on it. Really, the look is more of a more modern look for Electro, but they gave you the classic head, which I have on right now. I'm going for a sort of old school Sinister 6. I don't know what that was that felt, but I'm going for a sort of old school Sinister 6 here. So I used the classic head and kind of covered up the body a little bit. Got a couple of Tamashi effects, the lightning there coming from his hand. The two kind of energized hands that he comes with are lighting up really well here, as you can see. But yeah, he didn't come with any regular hands, which was stupid. And really, if you want to do a classic Electro, this is not the right costume. You only have the head, so we actually still need a classic Electro. Again, this is a modern take on the outfit, so really the head that should be used on this body is the bald head. So I'm not sure what they were doing here. I don't know if we're going to end up getting a better body or the old school body or what, but this figure was just kind of half-assed, man. Put the camera back a little. Still tweaking. I'm gonna change it up one more time. I think I'm done. I was just really just taking pictures and getting some different pictures for the main board and for PNP and from Instagram and so on and so forth. And I'm about to get into this Superman, I guess, next, or one of these other things that came in from Japan. My girl right now, as I record this, is trying to fix the wiring in Superman's cape, so that way it's running all the way through the lining of the cape and not just the bottom of the cape, which was so fucking stupid. I just opened the figure in to check to see where the wiring is. So on Batman, the wiring is just around the outer front portion, and on Superman, it's just on the very bottom of the cape. It's just stupid, lazy, dumb shit. Just messing around with the angles and the lights. It's daytime right now, so I'm not getting the best possible dark room. This would probably be better for me to try to shoot it at night, but we'll see how it's showing up. And you can see it. You see, I took, I felt like the other shots were coming out a little dark. I hope this is showing up a little brighter. I took the cutouts out and just kind of shot it raw without the cutouts here. You definitely have to fabricate your lights in order for you to set up a sound scene. You know, another big mistake that I see people making is that they hold the camera. They'll stand over the display, similar to how I was standing over it showing you a seaside, basically, and they'll hold the camera and try to shoot from that angle. You're definitely not going to get the best pictures like that. You have to get down level with the display. You see I'm on the floor right now. I'm level with the display. As a matter of fact, I'm lower than the display, and I'm shooting, and I have the camera mounted on a small tripod, and I'm shooting upward at the display, really getting level with the action and really showing you the action from you know, the combatant's point of view. you definitely can't shoot it from above unless it's supposed to be a scene from above. And even then, you want to steady the camera onto something. You can't be holding the camera. I never hold the camera, because no matter how still you think you're being, you're not. You're still going to be shaking no matter what. I don't care how steady your hand is. It's just better if you prop the camera onto something or use a tripod. And it's also best that you use the timer. I always use the automatic timer. I'll, get everything into the frame. That's another thing, getting everything into the frame. You see right now, everything is in the frame here where I want it. If I need to go in there and tweak anything and fix anything, I will. I'll go in, I'll fix it, but I'll shoot everything in frame. I won't have to go back and crop anything after the fact. I'll snap a picture right now, it'll be good to go. I'm recording right now, it's good to go. This is live. This is not, everything is here, it's tangible. I can mess with everything and tweak things as I see fit, but I do it within the frame. Now, it may take a lot of battery power from your camera or whatever, but it's the best thing you can do for the best possible results. And there's a shot of that really small glider. I gotta break out the old Toy Biz one. I got Silk here, and this was a nice addition to the whole Spider-Verse theme. I see Hasbro really going hard for Spider-Man and for that story arc. I'd never read any of that stuff, so I don't really know about the character too much. I've seen people pose her up with Spider-Man, kissing him and different things like that. So I'm assuming they had some type of relationship in the comics. And it's a nice figure. The unmasked head is a really nice addition. It's a really nice paint job, and I've been using it to double as Spider-Woman unmasked or Psylocke. So you can do a couple of different things with that head. I've seen my man Dave Castle cast it just for those purposes as well. And it would have been nice if they just added a couple of interchangeable hands as well. They skimp on that with the female figures oftentimes. So we'll see. Here's the unmasked head. There it is on Spider-Woman. If you pop the head all the way on, it's not going to look right. But if you just sit it on there, you could. And just so you could see Electro's alternate head, well, you could see it a little bit. But yeah, you really got to get a sufficient amount of light to light up the Tamashii lightning effects. You need a good amount of light hitting it at the right angle to really kind of illuminate them. This is working out pretty well. You see I added one little cutout here, but keep playing what you're seeing as well. Even as you're starting to break it down, keep doing little things to tweak it and keep shooting shots, because you may take something down and you may not have gotten what you want exactly, and then you've taken it down and it's going to be almost impossible for you to replicate it again. So even as you dismantling the display, keep doing little things and continue on the snapshots. You see that just fell off. So yeah, this is live. Just shot a little review for Newt. Really like the way this figure came out. Definitely glad I grabbed this from SDCC. And then the last accessory she comes with is the little baby doll head. SH Figuarts Luke Skywalker here. Came out really clean. Definitely, I'm definitely happy with this figure. You get 3 sets of interchangeable hands. You get the alternate face, which was looking a little goofy at first in some of the early images, but having it in hand, it's not too bad. Not the greatest, but not too bad. I probably won't be using that too much. Still not happy with the way that they're doing this kind of golden hair. I mentioned that with the Captain America figure earlier in the episode, but still a clean figure. You get the saber that you can attach to his belt, and you can remove the actual saber portion of from the hilt and do different things with that. The articulation is good. It's a very, very good figure. I don't know what's happening with Figuarts. They showed Han Solo and Chewie some time ago. I don't know when those are supposed to come out, but I'd like to get those two plus Leia and R2-D2. This is the Black Series R2-D2, but the core kind of Rebel team and Figuarts. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how long it's going to take them to make that happen, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. This is one figure I would definitely recommend too. Very nice. This is adding a little color light just to kind of accent things and give it a little more oomph and really make your your photos pop, make your display pop a little bit. A lot of people crying and complaining about not finding Deadpool, or other people who cop multiple Deadpools and they're crying because they didn't find one yet. It's just a pain in the ass, man. You know, pre-order yourself a set and guarantee that you're going to get every figure that you want, including the really, really popular ones like Deadpool and Wolverine. That's what you got to do. Or get out there and get on the hunt. No sense in crying and complaining. I've seen, first of all, this wave hasn't even officially hit all the retail yet. It's not on Toys R Us store shelves just yet. And from what I understand, the official street date is August the 10th. So if it's showing up in other places before then, you're still going to see it in abundance at retail. Now, don't get me wrong. It is only one figure per case. So, you know, most people will probably be snatching them up quick at retail. But from what I've seen, as far as the pre-orders and the retailers putting up tons of pre-orders, including the A.C.B.A shop, I think this is going to be one of the most ordered and pre-ordered waves ever. So you should be good. And just so you can see real quick, a little size comparison. Not too long ago, Wolverine on the right was the best Wolverine ever, at least that mold. But you can see they shortened him, made him a little more stocky, made him a little more true to his comic book counterpart, more comic book accurate. And again, like, I can't stress enough how well this figure moves and how great the articulation is. The butterfly joints work much better. He has an actual ab crunch instead of that just upper torso or that upper diaphragm rotation. The whole pelvic area looks better. It's just a much better figure. It's just superior. And don't get me wrong, the last Wolverine that we got is still a very nice figure, still a great figure. But this guy is just really, really nice. Got Hobgoblin here, which I think came out really nice. When I first saw this figure at Toy Fair, I really didn't like the way it looked. Something looked off. I don't know if it was the paint there or what, but having this figure in hand, it's a really sleek, nice figure. Definitely an improvement over the Toy Biz version, which I still think is a great figure. But when you look at the Toy Biz version and you look at the ball joints on the legs and on the arms, it does look pretty ugly. And this one is definitely more streamlined, and it looks like aesthetically it just looks much better. A little shorter than the Toy Biz one. I think that the face on the Toy Biz version is a little more detailed, a little better, but you do get two interchangeable heads with this one. One of my major gripes about this figure, though, probably one of my only gripes, is that the glider is really small. I'll show that in a minute. I'll probably end up using the glider from the Toy Biz version with this new Hasbro version, but this glider is really small. The other great thing about him is that he's got the unmasked head and a little taco here, so Hasbro's been giving some pretty good props. This little bottle was actually from the Ted Figma figure. And that backpack with Spidey that I showed. And the other scene is from the Mafex Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, from the DX set. So yeah, man, Deadpool is definitely a good. There's just a little better angle, I think.
What's in the fucking box?
Got the Mafex Batman here. This is from the BVS movie, Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. I like this figure. I like this figure a lot. I think they did a really good job with the sculpt. The articulation is pretty good. It's definitely an upgrade in comparison to the last Mafex Batman that we got, which I fucking hate. I couldn't even sell that figure. Nobody would even buy it. But the peg on the hand broke on the last Mafex Batman, the movie Batman. And I could see that possibly happening with this one too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the peg protrudes from the the peg for the hand protrudes from the wrist pretty far, and there's still like just a little gap in between the actual fist or the hand and where the wrist ends, I guess. I don't really like that about Mafex. I've seen some pictures. I've seen some issues with quality control. You know, I haven't really encountered anything with Batman yet, but I do have the Superman as well. As a matter of fact, that package was the Batman, Superman, Ted from the Ted 2 movie, the Figuarts Ant-Man, the Figma Ted, Figuarts Ant-Man, and the Figma Hulk. So I'll get around to all of that stuff, but Batman here is pretty nice. I do like him. I'll get some close-up better shots and talk about him a bit. Able to add in the Electro here. I like this figure, but they really half-assed on the figure. I mean, they didn't give you any regular hands to put on it. Really, the look is more of a more modern look for Electro, but they gave you the classic head, which I have on right now. I'm going for a sort of old school Sinister Six. I don't know what that was that felt, but I'm going for a sort of old school Sinister Six here. So I used the classic head and kind of covered up the body a little bit. Got a couple of Tamashi effects, the lightning there coming from his hand. The two kind of energized hands that he comes with are lighting up really well here, as you can see. But yeah, he didn't come with any regular hands, which was stupid. And really, if you want to do a classic Electro, this is not the right costume. You only have the head, so we actually still need a classic Electro. Again, this is a modern take on the outfit, so really the head that should be used on this body is the bald head. So I'm not sure what they were doing here. I don't know if we're going to end up getting a better body or the old school body or what, but this figure was just kind of half-assed, man. Put the camera back a little. Still tweaking. I'm gonna change it up one more time. I think I'm done. I was just really just taking pictures and getting some different pictures for the main board and for P&P and from Instagram and so on and so forth. And I'm about to get into this Superman, I guess, next, or one of these other things that came in from Japan. My girl right now, as I record this, is trying to fix the wiring in Superman's cape, so that way it's running all the way through the lining of the cape and not just the bottom of the cape, which was so fucking stupid. I just opened the figure in to check to see where the wiring is. So on Batman, the wiring is just around the outer front portion, and on Superman, it's just on the very bottom of the cape. It's just stupid, lazy, dumb shit. Just messing around with the angles and the lights. It's daytime right now, so I'm not getting the best possible dark room. This would probably be better for me to try to shoot it at night, but we'll see how it's showing up. And you can see it. You see, I took, I felt like the other shots were coming out a little dark. I hope this is showing up a little brighter. I took the cutouts out and just kind of shot it raw without the cutouts here. You definitely have to fabricate your lights in order for you to set up a sound scene. You know, another big mistake that I see people making is that they hold the camera. They'll stand over the display, similar to how I was standing over it showing you a seaside, basically, and they'll hold the camera and try to shoot from that angle. You're definitely not going to get the best pictures like that. You have to get down level with the display. You see I'm on the floor right now. I'm level with the display. As a matter of fact, I'm lower than the display, and I'm shooting, and I have the camera mounted on a small tripod, and I'm shooting upward at the display, really getting level with the action and really showing you the action from you know, the combatant's point of view. You definitely can't shoot it from above unless it's supposed to be a scene from above, and even then you want to steady the camera onto something. You can't be holding the camera. I never hold the camera, because no matter how still you think you're being, you're not. You're still going to be shaking no matter what. I don't care how steady your hand is. It's just better if you prop the camera onto something or use a tripod. And it's also best that you use the timer. I always use the automatic timer. I'll, you know, get everything into the frame. That's another thing, getting everything into the frame. You see right now everything is in the frame here where I want it. If I need to go in there and tweak anything and fix anything, I will. I'll go in, I'll fix it, but I'll shoot everything in frame. I won't have to go back and crop anything after the fact. I'll snap a picture right now, it'll be good to go. I'm recording right now, it's good to go. You know, this is live. This is not, you know, everything is here, is tangible. I can mess with everything and tweak things as I see fit, but I do it within the frame. Now, it may take a lot of battery power from your camera or whatever, but it's the best thing you can do for the best possible results. And there's a shot of that really small glider. I gotta break out the old Toy Biz one. I got Silk here, and this was a nice addition to the whole Spider-Verse theme. I see Hasbro really going hard for Spider-Man and for that story arc. I'd never read any of that stuff, so I don't really know about the character too much. I've seen people pose her up with Spider-Man, kissing him and different things like that. So I'm assuming they had some type of relationship in the comics. And it's a nice figure. The unmasked head is a really nice addition. It's a really nice paint job, and I've been using it to double as Spider-Woman unmasked or Psylocke. So you could do a couple of different things with that head. I've seen my man Dave Castle cast it just for those purposes as well. And it would have been nice if they just added a couple of interchangeable hands as well. They skimp on that with the female figures oftentimes. So we'll see. Here's the unmasked head. There it is on Spider-Woman. If you pop the head all the way on, it's not going to look right. But if you just sit it on there, you could. And just so you could see Electro's alternate head, well, you can see it a little bit, but yeah, you really got to get a sufficient amount of light to light up the Tamashi lightning effects. You need a good amount of light hitting it at the right angle to really kind of illuminate them. This is working out pretty well. You see, I added one little cutout here, but keep playing what you're seeing as well. Even as you're starting to break it down, keep doing little things to tweak it and keep shooting shots, because you may take something down and you may not have gotten what you want exactly, and then you've taken it down and it's going to be almost impossible for you to replicate it again. So even as you dismantling the display, keep doing little things and continuing the snapshots. You see that just fell off. So yeah, this is live.
What's in the box?
So that was a package from Cali. That was 2 of these RAF sets. I actually gave one already to my man Dave BX. This is for my man Light. This was actually a birthday gift for my man Light that his daughter set up through me and through my connect at SDCC. And I'm actually still waiting for my own box set. I had one that was being shipped to me loose, but when my guy opened it, there was damage on one of the Spider-Man figure. So I ended up sending it back to Hasbro, and then Hasbro sent me one directly to my crib, so I ended up not having to pay for any shipping. So that was a good look. So I'll just wait until I get that one from Hasbro. So I messed around here and got the new Mafex Batman on the old Bat Pod. It was actually a pain in the ass to try to get him on here, but it was even more of a pain in the ass to get the original Batman on this Bat Pod. But I do like the way it looks. I know you can't really see too much of it here, but I already kind of went over Batman. I really don't like the proportions of Superman. It doesn't look terrible, but for whatever reason, the stature and the build of Batman looks better than Superman to me. And on the right leg for Superman, they have sort of that kind of pull down method that you use on the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figures on these at the crotch and at the hip, but on Superman on the right leg, it doesn't seem to go back into the socket as deep as the left leg does, and it just doesn't look as uniform as it does on the opposite side. I don't like the way the hands, same thing that I mentioned with Batman, with the peg being kind of long and there's a gap between the end of the hand and the beginning of the wrist. I don't like the way that looks. The cape is such a pain in the ass. Like I mentioned, my girl did put wire throughout the entire rim of the cape. Originally it was only on the bottom portion, but it still didn't help that much. They should have used the same exact method that they used for the last Mafex Batman. That cape and the way the wire in that cape worked was perfect. On the extra head, the heat vision eyes were yellow instead of red. My girl painted them red. They look better that way, but it's just so many issues with this Superman that it fell kind of short. It didn't live up to the hype for sure. I really do like the way the Sandman figure came out, but it leaves a bit to be desired. It could have had some more accessories, and I don't know, the articulation is really nice, the look of the figure is really nice. I mentioned this before, but it's basically right in the realm of what Figuarts does. This is sort of like a Kamen Rider, the design of it, a mask sort of hero, and they tend to do that very, very well. Um, but it's just not much you can do with it being within this scale. You can't really explore the Ant-Man. You can't really explore displays with him as Ant-Man um, without having some type of diorama that's huge or some other props that are huge or doing things with real world environments. So, it's a really nice figure, and hopefully we'll get some more characters from Captain America Civil War, so at least you could do some portrait displays and put them in some setups with the other characters from Cap's team. I had stopped at a Kmart to pick up a mop and just happened to see this out on the shelves. Looked like they had put out an old case from this wave, so I had to grab this. I only had one. I actually found the whole wave at retail over a course of like a month or so, or a couple months basically. So I had never ordered a case of this, and this was before we started getting cases in for the shop. So I had to mess around with this Ultimate Green Goblin. Had to get him in this episode real quick. I don't know, this light might be all over the place. It's kind of hard trying to really light up all of these flame effects and keep the black backdrop completely, infinitely dark. But I'm using a felt backdrop, and I have it pretty far from the subjects, and the light is not hitting the felt at all. So that's really what you want. It's not going to work if you're trying to use poster paper or something that's going to conduct the light. You need something that's going to not pick up the light, and felt or a black towel or something like that is probably your best bet. Figma Hulk, I think, came out pretty nice. Definitely a much better scope, better design than the SH Figuarts version. I was talking with Rick on the podcast the other night, and he mentioned something that was holds true. The Figuarts version looks very anime, whereas this one looks a little more accurate to the movie, a little more comic accurate. I think the sculpt of this figure is just much better. You don't get those crazy gaps on the shoulders like you get in the Figuarts version. My gripes with this figure is that it didn't come with enough for the price point. It's a bit overpriced. It's an expensive figure, about $100 or almost $100. Can't remember exactly how much I paid because so many things came at once, but it is expensive for what you get. There is no interchangeable face. You should have definitely got a more screaming, angry version maybe, and maybe an extra set of hands. You do get a set of fisted hands, but for whatever reason, they're not popping on the joints on the peg right now. So I got to try to heat them up or something. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't want to force it. I saw a couple people with some QC issues with this, and I'm definitely not trying to break this figure. It was expensive, so I do think the sculpt looks really, really nice, though. I like the way this guy looks.